A pleasant day, dear students. Today we are going to learn the third part of Should Wizard Hit Mommy. Already we have seen the introduction part and the second part also. And now we are going to see the third part of this story. Okay. Up to page number 50 we have seen already. This is page number 51. Okay, what is that? Little skunk went to the owl to ask the solution. Up to that we can see, right? Okay, so now the owl has given about the creek. So what's the meaning of creek? The skunk is asking. The meaning has been given here. See here, a little river. Creek means a little river. Over the creek and there will be the wizard's house. And that's the way the skunk went, and pretty soon he became to a little white house and he rapped on the door. Jack rapped on the windowsill, and under the covers Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill, and then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and a pointed blue hat and said, "Hey, what's this? What you want? You smell awful." The wizard's voice was one of Jack's own favorite effects. He did it by scrunching up his face and somehow whining through his eyes, which felt for the interval rheumy. He felt being an old man suited him. The owl is directing the skunk how to go to wizard's house. Okay, there is a creek or a little river and there will be wizard's house. Okay, nearby the river, the wizard's house will be there. And that's the way the skunk went. As directed by the owl, it went in the way. And pretty soon he came to a little white house. Okay, soon it came to the little white house and he rapped on the door. Rap means strike with a series of rapid audible blows. That means knocking on the door. So Jack rapped on the windowsill. Okay, as he didn't hear while he knocked at the door, now he is knocking at the windowsill. And under the covers, Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill, and then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and a pointed blue hat and said, "Hey, what's this? What you want? You smell awful." Okay, so listen here. So while he was knocking at the windowsill and he was somewhat holding his fingers very much together, and he got a thrill also in his mind. Okay, so whether who will come and how the man will appear. So that thrill was there in the skunk. And then a little man came out of the house. He had a long beard, okay, that is white in color, and a pointed blue hat, okay, the sharp, like, see here, pointed blue hat, and said, "Okay, what's this?" That's an informal way of asking, what is this? What I want, what do you want? Okay, informal way of asking, what do you want? You smell awful. What's the meaning of awful? Very bad or unpleasant. Okay, so your smell is not pleasant and it's not good at all. The wizard's voice was one of Jack's own favorite effects. He did it by scrunching up his face and somehow whining through his eyes, which felt for the interval rheumy. Okay, listen here, students. Now, okay, so the voice was so much attraction to the skunk. Okay, the skunk wanted to get some noise. So now what happened? Jack is giving the wizard's voice in a different way. Okay, he is doing like a mimicry to attract the attention of his own daughter Joan. Okay, so he did it by scrunching. Scrunching means making a loud noise. Okay, he asked like with the loud noise, and somehow, okay, So he felt being an old man and suited him. Okay, he was an old man and somehow he was suitable for the skunk also. Now Roger Skunk says, okay, I know it. And all the little animals run away from me. The enormous wise owl said you could help me. Okay, what happened? On seeing me, I know it very well, I am awful. Okay, all the other animals, while they see me, they run off. Okay, so I am feeling very bad. I went to approach the old owl. The enormous old owl told me that you could solve my problem. That's why I could come here. So likewise, the skunk has revealed it. Yay, well, maybe. Come on and don't get too close. Now inside Joe, there were all these magic things all jumbled together in a big, deep, dusty heap because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady. Okay, now the skunk is called inside by the wizard and the skunk goes there. So now father tells the child, so inside the house everything was messed up, okay, confused. Everything has been scattered here and why it's scattered here and the house was not clean means the wizard had no cleaning lady, okay, likewise the father has given to Joe. Why? Why? Because he was a wizard and a very old man. Now she asked, Joe asked, why he doesn't have the cleaning lady? Now father says, okay, because he was a wizard and a very old man. Wizard means the man with the magic powers. And he was very old, he couldn't do on his own also. Will he die? Joe is asking whether the wizards will die or not. Father says, no, wizards don't die. Okay, wizard will not die. Well, he rummaged around and found an old stick called a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. Roger thought and said roses. Okay, listen here. So now rummage means unsystematically roaming here and there in search of something. Okay. So here he was roaming here and there in search of the something and at last he found a magic stick. Okay. See, he found an old stick that was called as magic wand and he asked Roger Skunk what smell he wanted to change into. So now Roger thinks and thinks for a long time and at last he conveys roses. Yes, good. Joe said smugly. Smugly means in a way that shows excessive satisfaction. Okay, you could understand. Okay, this awful smell can be changed into roses. Yes, good. Joe said smugly. Okay, yes, Joe is very satisfied now. Jack fixed her with a trance like gaze and chanted in the wizard's elderly, irritable voice. And now Jack is pretending as a wizard and he is giving a voice. So for example, we'll say no. Something, okay. So some mantras will be chanted to open the door. You would have seen in the movies and all, right? Okay, the same. Abracadabra, hocus poo, Roger Skunk, how do you do? Roses, bozes, pull and ear. Roger Skunk, you never fear. Bingo! So likewise, the magic man, wizard, tells something to change its smell to roses. Okay. Its meanings have been given here, children. You can see later. He passed as a rat, okay, after telling that mantra, after chanting that mantra, he passed as a rat expression widened out from his daughter's nostrils, forcing her eyebrows up and her lower lip down in a wide, noiseless grin, an expression in which Jack was startled to recognize his wife feigning pleasure at cocktail parties, and all of a sudden, he whispered the whole inside of her wizard's house was full of the smell of roses. Roger Fish cried, and the wizard said, very cranky, that will be 7 pennies. He passed as a rapt expression. Rapt means completely fascinated. Okay, for fascinating his daughter, he said as a wizard's voice in a strange way, which one is very much liked by Joan. Okay, now what is that? The daughter is so much fascinated. Her eyebrows are lifting up and the lower lip going down, and there is a noiseless grin is there. Grin means smiling broadly. An expression in which Jack was startled to recognize. Okay, now what is that? Now with which Jack was surprised to see, because while his wife was going to the cocktail parties, she used to smile like that. Okay, the same smile was with her daughter. And all of a sudden he whispered. Okay, the whole inside of a wizard's house was full of the smell of roses, roses, roses. Roger Fish cried. Okay, listen now, father is telling. Okay, so in that whole everywhere, okay, the house was there. Everywhere it was a smell of roses. Now he says Roger Fish cried. Okay, so he's telling the story about Roger Skunk, but he has concluded as Roger Fish cried. And the wizard said very cranky. Cranky means seeming differently, and that will be 7 pennies. Okay, so as he has changed the smell into roses, his charge was 7 pennies, he said. Daddy, okay, now Joe is calling. Daddy, father is asking, what? Roger Skunk, you said Roger Fish. Okay, what is that? It's not Roger Fish. You are telling the story about Roger Skunk. Yes, Skunk. Okay, father could realize. You said Roger Fish. Wasn't that silly? Okay, the daughter is asking. While you are saying the story about Roger Skunk, you are saying Roger Fish. Don't you feel it silly? Very silly of your stupid old daddy. Where was I? Well, you know about the pennies. Okay, listen here. So she is telling, okay, you are the stupid old lady as a daddy. Then he asked, okay, where was I? The girl says, okay, well, you know about the pennies. Okay, because he could stop it with 7 pennies. Say it, the daughter says. Okay, Roger Skunk said, but all I have is 4 pennies. And he began to cry. Joe made the crying face again, but this time with a trace of sincerity. This annoyed Jack. Don't say some more, furniture rumbled. Claire shouldn't move heavy things. She was 6 months pregnant. It would be their 3rd. Okay, listen here. So now he says, okay, Roger Skunk said, okay, what I have is only 4 pennies. And he started crying also because he couldn't give the amount what was demanded by the wizard. Okay. So now Joe is also making a crying face. Always she was playful, but now she is quite serious. Okay. The sincerity was shown in her face. And downstairs there was some noise was there. Okay. So things were rumbling here. So that noise was there. Claire shouldn't move heavy things. Okay. As she was 6 months pregnant, Claire means the wife of Jack. She couldn't move the things. And not only that, she was carrying the baby for the 6 months. And it was the 3rd baby of them. So the wizard said, oh, very well. Go to the end of the lane and turn around 3 times and look down the magic well, and there you will find 3 pennies. Pennies. Okay, listen here. So go to this lane. Okay, this one lane is there in front of them. Go to this lane. There you turn around 3 times. There you will, while you look down, there will be a magic well. Nearby that 3 more pennies will be there. Hurry up. So Roger Skunk went to the end of the lane and turned around 3 times. And there in the magic well was there 3 pennies. So he took them back to the wizard and was very happy and ran out into the woods And all the other little animals gathered around him because he smelled so good. And they played tag, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, saucer, and pick up sticks. What's pick up sticks? It's a game you play with sticks. Okay, listen here. So now, as it was directed by the wizard, the Roger skunk went to the lane, turned thrice, and it could see a magic well. There nearby the 3 pennies were there, and he said, okay, hurry up. So he took the pennies and handed over to the wizard, and at last it went to the woods, and all the other animals were very happy to play with it. The Roger skunk, baby skunk also was very happy because so far he was rejected from other animals, but now all the animals have come together to play with it. So it's very happy, and they played tag, it's a type of game, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, a team game, okay, hockey, soccer means a form of football, and pick up sticks. Now she could understand everything, and she doesn't know the meaning of pick up sticks. So she asked, what's the meaning of pick up sticks? So the father is telling, it's a game you play with sticks, okay? With the sticks you will play. Like the wizard's magic wand, she is asking whether it's like the magic wand of the wizard. Kind of, okay, the same kind. And they played games and laughed all afternoon. And then it began to get dark, and they all ran home to their mummies. Okay, so as it was getting dark, so all the animals ran to their homes. Okay, so all went to their mummies. Listen students, these are the meanings of page number 52. Okay. Joe was starting to fast with her hands and look out of the window. At the crack of the day that showed under the shade, she thought the story was all over. Jack didn't like women when they took anything for granted. He liked them apprehensive, hanging on his words. Now, Joe, are you listening? Okay, now Joe started to get confused. Okay, at last he thought, okay, the story would have come to an end. But Jack doesn't like to give anything to the women immediately as they asked. Okay. So if they ask immediately, it's granted means he like them apprehensive, hanging on his words. Now Joe, are you listening? Okay, apprehensive means anxious or fearful that something bad or unpleasant will happen. Okay, they have to ask him again and again. Immediately he will not grant any permission. Okay, now he is asking his daughter, Joe, whether you are listening? She is saying yes. Because this is very interesting. Roger skunk's mommy said, what's that awful smell? Okay. Now mother is telling, Roger skunk's mother is telling, what is this? Already you had a pleasant smell, but now it's not looking like that. Now Roger skunk, baby skunk is asking, what? And Roger skunk said, it's me, mommy. I smell like roses. And she said, who made you smell like that? And he said, the wizard. And she said, well, of all the nerve, you come with me and we are going right back to that very awful wizard. Okay, listen here. So the mother is considering it as the awful smell. Okay, then Roger skunk, baby skunk couldn't understand why the mother is telling that. And Roger skunk says, mommy, it's me. I am smelling like roses. Now mother is telling, okay. So who made you this smell? Then he says, okay, what is it? Wizard. Come, we can go to that awful wizard and we can ask that. Joe sat up, her hands dabbling in the air. Dabbling means immerse partially in water and move them around gently. Okay, her hands and all got sweaty. Okay, so she is so nervous about what will happen afterwards. But daddy, then he said about the other little animals run away. Her hands skittered off into the underbrush. Okay, skittered means move lightly and quickly. Underbrush means shrubs and small trees forming the undergrowth in a forest. Okay. So Joe is asking, Daddy, you will say all the animals have gone away, right? Okay, on seeing it, smell. But now, somewhat okay only no. So everything is going on with it. So it was good only no. All right, he said. But mommy, all the other little animals ran away, and she said, I don't care. You smell the way a little skunk should have, and I'm going to take you right back to that wizard. And she took an umbrella and went back with Roger's skunk and hit that wizard right over the head. Okay, listen here. Now he is telling, okay, all right. But what does that mommy say? Okay, so you were smelling like all the other little skunks smell. Okay, but now it's not like that. So it says, okay, on seeing me, all the animals ran off because of my smell. Mother says, I don't care about that, no. You have to smell like what the skunk animals will do. So I'm going to take you to the wizard now. Taking an umbrella, holding baby skunk, she went right back to the wizard. And as soon as it reached and saw the wizard, with an umbrella, the Roger skunk hit on the head of wizard. No, Jo said, and put her hand out to touch his lips. Yet, even in her agitation, did not quite dare to stop the source of truth. Inspiration came to her. Then the wizard hit her on the head and did not change the little skunk back. Okay, so now she couldn't understand why father is telling the story like this. So she wanted to stop his list by saying this. But the father was not able to stop his story because he wanted to insist on another fact. No, he said, the wizard said, okay. And Roger's skunk did not smell of roses anymore. He smelled very bad again. Okay, he asked whether the rose smell was changed again. He said, yes, it was changed again. And afterwards, it smelled very bad only. But the other little Joan, it's Daddy's story. Shall Daddy not tell you any more stories? Her broad face looked at him through shifter light, astounded. This is what happened then, Roger. Okay, now the girl couldn't accept what father said. Now father is threatening the girl whether you want to continue the story or not. Whether father wants to tell you more stories or not. Then this is what happened. Afterwards, Roger, so likewise, this page gets completed. Look here, students, this is the meanings of page number 53. Skunk and his mommy went home and they heard ooh, and it was a choo-choo rain bringing Daddy's skunk home from Boston. As soon as they met, we said they came back home. At the time, the train's whistle was there and they had lima beans, celery, liver, mashed potatoes and pie oh my for dessert. Okay, so they had evening supper. What and all? Okay, lima beans were there, celery was there, liver was there, mashed potatoes was there and pie oh my for dessert. And when Roger skunk was in bed, Mommy skunk came up and hugged him, said he smelled like her little baby skunk again and she loved him very much. And that's the end of the story. Okay, now after supper, the baby skunk was at bed. At the time, the mother skunk came and she showed her love on the baby and she said, okay, this is a smell I like because now you are smelling like my own child. But Daddy, what? Then, did the other animals run away? Okay, so now Joe is asking, Daddy, okay, that animal is okay only. But whether the other animals played with the little skunk or it ran away? No, because eventually they got used to the way he was and did not mind it at all. So previously the animals didn't join with Roger's skunk at all. But while it smelled like roses, every animal was playing with it. So now it's not moving at all. Okay, they are still playing with it. What's even sliding? In a little while. That was a stupid mommy. Okay, she is telling. What does this even know? Okay, this mommy is very stupid. It was not, he said with rare emphasis, and believed from her expression that she realized he was defending his own mother to her, and something as odd. Okay, now the girl was not able to understand why father is creating like this, and she couldn't accept it also. Okay, but father wants to say the love of mother. Okay, even though he was looking bad, the mother had very much love on it. He wanted to emphasize on it, but the girl doesn't want to hear that or no. Now I want you to put your big heavy head in the pillow and have a good long nap. He adjusted the shade so not even a crack of the day showed, and tiptoed to the door in the pretense that she was already asleep. But when he turned, she was crouching on top of the covers and staring at him. Hey, get under the covers and fall asleep. Bubby's asleep. She stood up and bounced gingerly on the springs. Daddy, what? Okay, listen here. So, at the end of the story, she couldn't tolerate what the father has said. She couldn't digest the climax of the story. So, she was thinking of, now father says, okay, you pull your face, okay, on the pillow and you can go for sleeping. Already Bobby has slept. So, the girl was pretending, acting like sleeping, but she didn't do. So while father has moved from there, she was raising her head and she saw there. Now father says, okay, so you can sleep. Bobby has slept, you can also sleep. But she stood up and bounced gingerly. Okay, so immediately she swung up to get up carefully on the springs and she says, Daddy, father says, what? Tomorrow I want you to tell me the story that Wizard took that magic wand and hit that mommy. Her plum bombs chopped forcefully right over the head. Okay, so you have to tell me tomorrow with the climax change, okay, because now you said that mother has hit on the wizard. Tomorrow have to bring up the climax as the wizard has taken its magic wand, hit on the mother. Okay, likewise you have to complete. No, that's not the story. The point is that the little skunk loved his mommy more than he loved all the other little animals. And she knew what was right. Okay, now that's not the story. I wanted to emphasize the love of baby skunk. Because as he loved his mother more than anything in this world, he could obey the words of mother. So that's what he wanted to emphasize. No, tomorrow you see, he hit that mommy. Do it? She kicked her legs up and sat down on the bed with a great heave and complained of screams as she had done hundreds. Okay, listen here, the girl couldn't understand the climax. Okay, he couldn't digest the climax of the story. So that she is telling her father to change the content of the climax. Okay, but the father refuses to do. Again, the girl is insisting her father to change the climax of the story. Students, this is a page of meanings of page number 54. Of times before, except that this time she did not laugh, said Daddy. Okay, listen here. So now for every story, whenever father has given the story, the girl used to smile, laugh. But now she is not doing it. She is telling, say Daddy, you change the climax, Daddy. Well, I'll see. We now at least have a rest. Stay on the bed. You're a good girl. Okay, father is somewhat. Okay, at last he was convinced. Okay, we can see. Now you can go to bed and you can sleep. He closed the door and went downstairs. Claire had spread the newspapers and opened the paint can, and wearing an old shirt of his on top of a maternity smock. Maternity smock means the gown which she used for wearing as she was pregnant. Okay, so on that she had covered with a shirt also, and she had opened the paint can everywhere, and then she has spread the newspapers also. She is painting there, understand? Okay, that's what. I was stroking the chair rail with a dipped brush. Okay, so she is dipping the brush into paint, and she is painting all the chairs, the rails of chairs, everything. Above him, footsteps vibrated, and he called, "John, shall I come up there and spank you?" The footsteps hesitated. Okay, so now, she could hear the steps of someone coming down. So she asked, okay, whether Joe I have to come there and slap you. That was a long story, Claire said. Claire is telling, okay, what is that? That's a long story. The poor kid, he answered, and with utter weariness watched his wife labor. Okay, now what happened? He is telling the child is very poor. She couldn't digest the climax of the story. And at last, he was very tired, and he was observing what the wife was doing. The woodwork, a cage of moldings and rails, bales, boats all around them was half old tan and half new ivory. He felt caught in an ugly middle position and thought he was, as well as his wife's presence in the cage with him. He did not want to speak with her, walk with her, touch her, anything. Okay, so he was feeling tired and he sat there. His wife was pregnant, even then she was doing all the artwork. So something was like old, some half she has painted. It was with ivory color. He could have helped her, but he didn't do that. He didn't speak with her, he didn't work with her, and he didn't do anything. He was sitting simply there. Okay, by this the story gets ended. It's page number 55. Meanings have been given. All those words are familiar only these two words were there. Okay, so you know the summary, I think, students. Okay, the skunk was smelling bad, so it went back to the owl, and the owl directed it to go to the wizard. Wizard has changed his color, smell, and it asked to collect the pennies also. It went to the magic well and collected the pennies and handed over to the wizard. While he came to the forest, all the animals played with it, and while he came home, Mother shouted at it, and he took an umbrella and went to a wizard, and he turned the wizard and asked, "Who changed you? Who told you to change my baby's smell?" At last, what happened? It has been changed back to its fouling smell, and they reached home. They had the supper. And at last, the mother showed its love and so convinced. Okay, so now the girl couldn't understand the climax. Okay, she couldn't digest the climax, so she asked her father to change its climax, but father couldn't do. Somehow she was convinced, and she could make her slave. That's all the story. Okay, thank you, students.